pretty good gap here for the A panel, so I'm just tacked it in at the top there, so when I pull this in I won't lose my gap on the A panel. Obviously we're nice around the top here. I've just put in 2 tacks so I can remove my screws, and yeah, let's carry on. So right now, to stop this A panel moving around, I want to clamp up this. Now, this is a bit of a nightmare job. You can get the proper tool, but what I'm going to use is this piece of wood. So basically a big flat piece of wood, and then I'm going to use my mole grips to just grip here, tiny bit at a time. Good thing about mole grips is you can obviously set how the closed position. So we'll just make the closed position slightly narrower than this currently is, go all the way up and down, and then we'll wind it in a little bit more and go all the way up and down, keeping this on the outside obviously. So yeah, it's going to take a while, but 500 crimps with the mole grips and we should be there or thereabouts. So I'm finally happy with how I've got this section lined up now. I'm going to get some tacks on here before anything moves, and yeah, then we'll be able to remove some of these clamps that I've got all over the place and go from there. We're getting there then. So we've got some spot welds up here, and I've got this folded over, and the gap's not so bad. It's tighter, narrower than it was, so that's good. Not perfect, but it'll be alright. You can see my tape markings from before where I did the original dry fit. So this is nice to help you get things back in the right place. But we've only got a few tacks in here, lots more to do. So need to crack on and complete the welding. Well, that's the clamps off this front corner then. Let's just turn the camera around and show you. But basically we've got the welding finished on this front corner. Well, not finished, but close enough. Pretty much everything on this extreme side of the car is dealt with. And the reason behind that is because there's no room over that side of the car for me to work. So hopefully this side's kind of done, and I'll be able to somehow try and turn the car around, and then yeah, I'll be able to repeat all the works on the other side. Appreciate that might not be the most interesting thing in the world, so probably have to mix it up with some other things, but yeah, we're making progress still. So I'll just show you a bit of welding. Still needs a bit of grinding, but basically here you can see we've got all these plug welds because I couldn't get the spot welder in, and then obviously we did use the spot welder here, as I said. So this side is stabilised. Right, just showing that I've finished off patching the rear valance in. Just stabilisation for now. Probably something else, either a new valance, or we'll do something back here when we get to that point, but at least it's stable for now. Right, well now we have the car turned around, first thing I'm going to do is just deal with this cone on this side, just so they can compress evenly over the next year or however long it takes to get the car on the road. So we cracked off the ball joint. That one was even harder on the steering arm. Now we're just trying to remove some of the difficult to get to bolts. And the hardest one has to take the MPI horn, which is normally on the inside of the wing there, take that out of the way, and then I can just about, see if I can show you, see that little spanner down there? I can just about get that spanner onto that nut. Can't do this one from the front. Can do, oh, get out of the way. Can do that one there, that side from the front. We can't do this one that I've got the spanner on there from the front because of that big chunky bottom radiator hose there. Yes, if you've taken that out, then you would be able to have a lot more access. But it is theoretically possible to get down here and undo this with this spanner here. So if you've got the patience, then yes, you can do it without removing the radiator. Okay, well, I'm going to whip that out and then compress the cone. Even on this side up here, borderline impossible to get down to that nut tower bolt. If you push all these pipes out of the way, you just get your socket through and pull the tower bolt up back through that hole. But yeah, super tight with the MPI, but we are going to manage to get that cone out of there. Just takes a little bit of patience and the right size spanner. Here we are, another day, another dud suspension cone. So we're doing the driver's side here, and what I'm finding with this one is, yeah, on an MPI, if you take out your horn, which would be on your inner wing, just in there, it is possible to figure out some access right down in there to withdraw that pin. So going ahead and getting that sorted out and swapped over. Obviously we've cleaned this up, we've got some copper grease in the top here, and we've got our new joint in there, knuckle, and you know, just clean this up and we'll get our dust covers on the ends of this. So just about to line it up and throw it up in there, but yeah, not too bad. Obviously got our spring compressor here again, so yeah, just doing this before we move on to the rust on the car, because we want both sides to settle and compress evenly over the next however long it takes before this is ready for the road. Finally then, after a couple of run throughs, we've got both front suspension cones sorted out on this car, which means with the car also turned round, we can now move on to dealing with this rust. Oh, where is it? This rust all the way along this side. It's pretty bad. All right, thanks for watching this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye.